The entire Middle East now is on high alert as the U.S. reportedly believes Iran will directly attack Israel as soon as today. President Biden is expected to gather his National Security Council for a meeting in the Situation Room just a few hours from now. It has been nearly a week since a top Hamas political leader was killed in Iran and a Hezbollah commander was killed in Lebanon. Critics say the Biden-Harris administration got us here.
This administration got this thing wrong from the very beginning. The Houthis are now attacking U.S. ships, commercial ships and U.S. military ships, and they fired a drone into Israel. Iran funds Hezbollah, they fund Hamas. This could have been completely preventable. This is an absolute disaster brought to you by really bad decisions by the Biden-Harris administration.
And our nation is boosting military presence in the region. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced the Pentagon will deploy additional fighter jets and Navy warships, including cruisers and destroyers, which can shoot down ballistic missiles. Trey Yingst in Haifa, Israel, with more now. How that nation where you are is preparing for what we know or highly suspect will be an imminent attack. Trey.
Yeah, Harris, good morning. Israel is on edge today as the country braces for an attack from Iran and its proxies. The Wall Street Journal reports that Iran told U.S. and Arab diplomats it didn't care if a counterattack caused a war in the region. We do know just yesterday, Jordan's foreign minister traveled to Iran for a meeting. President Biden scheduled to speak with Jordanian King Abdullah II today, but there has been very little public Iranian interaction with those trying to avert a crisis. With this in mind, Israel is taking steps to prepare for a prolonged conflict, as reports indicate the initial Iranian response could come in waves and include extensive missile and drone attacks. Iran's top IRGC general saying this today.
When it receives a firm response, it will realize it has been wrong. They keep making miscalculations. They repeated this mistake this time too. They will once again get a taste of our punishment. They will find out when, where, and how we will retaliate. It is ambiguous and indeterminate.
A document sent to mayors of northern cities told officials here to prepare for water outages, power cuts, and evacuations. And in Jerusalem, an underground command bunker for government officials was opened by the Shin Bet security agency. Preparations for war in the north and with Iran comes as fighting rages on inside the Gaza Strip. Israeli negotiators traveled to Cairo, Egypt this weekend for talks about a possible ceasefire, but made no progress. Israel has ramped up strikes against Gaza in recent days, going after Hamas, but killing dozens of civilians in the process. Now today, the top CENTCOM general, Michael Kurilla, is meeting with Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant. It gives you just a taste of the interactions and coordination between the Americans and the Israelis amid this heightened state of tension. Harris?
That's all very important to know. Put this into context for us. We appreciate that, Trey. Robert Greenway, director of the Center for National Defense at Heritage Foundation, also a former Defense Intelligence Agency intel officer, and I want to add this, former Green Beret. And so we really want to tap into, first of all, obviously the global politics and all of this, but then I want to lean on your military acumen as well. Let's start with where we are right now in the Middle East and the part that the U.S. must play right now.
Thanks for having me on, Harris. Look, the previous comments about a series of disastrous policy choices that have dismantled our deterrence got us to this point. It's not simply what happened on October the 7th or even the Iranian strikes in April. A series of decisions got us to this point where Iran judges there is no opposition to their exercise of hegemony in the Middle East. And look, the impact can't be divorced from the economic situation. They're coinciding with one another. And the economic impacts of disruption of the Red Sea and the forecasting potential disruption to global energy markets are contributing to what's happening in the markets. That's likely to get worse. As Trey indicated, we could see a series of actions taken by Iran for which little time and preparation can occur, and from which will occur from a variety of axes all around the compass points of the Middle East. I would also add that we can't exclude attacks in Europe, attacks in Asia, and attacks in the United States from Iranian operatives and their surrogates and proxies.
I want to ask about the series of actions by Iran, because when you say that, it makes me understand better what you just described, and that is they know we're hurting economically today. They're watching the markets. They see this, and you say that it's tied to the energy and whether or not we can get to those things that feed our energy needs here. Those shipping lanes and what they've been doing, and also China with shipping lanes there, that matters now.
And there's no question the disruption of shipping in the Red Sea from Iranian-sponsored Houthis have already increased commodity prices as much as 20% in many markets, including our own, contributing to the inflation in the United States. That's just a foretaste of what could occur. If global energy markets are disrupted further at a time when the strategic petroleum reserve has been depleted in the United States by the current administration for political purposes, the pain could be severe and acute. It could contribute to, or it certainly could accelerate the trajectory towards recession that many people are discussing today.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند